What's up, guys? This is Ardinal7. Welcome back to another war video. This is Season 42, War 6, LVT versus Salty. I have 6 fights this war. I'm taking 1 fight on Path 9 in Section 1, 26, Path 8 in Section 2, 47, and 55. I am bringing Omega Sentinel, Titania, and one of my favorite war champs, Longshot, who's finally off my defense. So first up, we've got Node 18. This is Omega Sentinel versus Domino. One thing about the node is that they get indestructible when you reach a bar of power. So I am not using tech power back boosts. And the game plan here is just to try to play around the incinerate phase as much as possible. If I get a few incinerates on me, I'll take a little bit of damage, but just to be smart and play around it. And then also to try to not to hit Domino when she's lucky, and I did hit her a couple times there. But you saw I got my first bar of power, and there's the indestructible. I'm just going to recycle my SB1s here. Not really push into a bunch of power. Omega Sentinel has plenty of damage. I'll get through this without getting incinerates up or anything too. So there's that indestructible again. The good thing is when the poison phase comes, I do get a little bit of regeneration as well from Omega Sentinel. Just parrying, watching for lucky, trying to not hit too much when it's in incinerate. I will throw some heavies to get some space, and just kind of play normal Domino here. It's a little bit of a slower fight with the indestructible and me not racing to big specials or anything, but slow and steady and safe. So there I do get a plasma. We're back into incinerate, so I'm going to heavy, just get a little bit of space. There's the indestructible again. And she didn't get lucky from that SP1 either, so we kind of push for the kill here just momentarily. One more combo should do it. And we're done. Next up, we have Havok on node 26. This will be another Omega Sentinel fight. Coming into this, the plan was to just kind of ignore the hazard shift node. Turns out that was not a great plan, so I kind of realized halfway through that the shocks are doing too much damage to me, so I'll just kind of try to stop and play around those. This is going to be another very long fight. One thing I didn't mention in the Domino fight is because Omega Sentinel is a tactic attacker, she will be power draining when she has armors, and I'm basically always going to have armors. So I do get a little bit of power burn going on throughout the fight. But you see I've got some shocks on me, and it's kind of taking my health down. I even used a regen gray boost for this fight. But because of Conflictor, I'm not able to really stick any plasmas on him either. I guess I could try to parry beforehand or something, but I'm just not going to worry about it too much. I know that Mega Sentinel will get this down, but right about now I'm watching those shocks do a lot of damage to me. And I'm still winning the race here, but it's not going exactly great. So, I do lose an armor up buff if I don't hit Havok within 6 seconds or whatever from the node. But really, the only thing I'm worried about is eating a combo and auto blocking and losing all of my armors, and then his plasma debuffs could explode or whatever and do big damage to me. So I've got my SP3. I know that will do good damage and should be able to kill, but I'm just going to try to get him as low as possible. And it's working out okay, but here we are back into shock. So just kind of backing off. There, I get 1 shock, pushing to SP2. I'm going to bait the SP2 and then just go in for the kill. There, now we're back to bleed phase, so nice and safe to do damage. Didn't even need the SP3, but I was ready to throw it in case I needed to. Alright, so a few potions later, Omega Sentinel's back up and ready for Professor X on node 34. I used the Plasma Wave pre-fight, so I'm going to be able to put a tracking debuff onto Professor X here, and I can basically just ignore his falter. So I'll just be doing light ending combos to pause my debuffs, and I've got tracking on him, so he is basically a completely trivial fight. Again, I've got armors, and as a tactic attacker, I will be power burning as well. So I'm not worried about him, you know, racing up to an SP3, even if he did have prowess, but Mega Sentinel also removes those too. So this is really just a diversity placement. He is a tactic defender, so it's always good to have tactic defenders on the map, but this is a trivial fight for Omega Sentinel. I do eat a SP1 there, but it did next to nothing, so this SP2 will kill. Nice and easy. Next up, I have Longshot versus Hulkling on node 44. That's the second fight on path 8 in section 2. Longshot is one of my favorite war attackers. He's one of my favorite Mystic champs. He's so much fun. I do switch over to a Mystic special boost, but not a Mystic power back boost. I am running MD5, and I know that I'm going to race to another SP2 basically right after my first one when I Fate Seal. So I am using a PS1. The plan here is to Dex away until I get Pure of Heart, and then throw a single heavy. Then I get my SP2 off, which Fate Seals, puts the Incinerate on him, and I'm just going to hit into him, and he is going to just get his buffs that he would have gotten Fate Sealed and burn down super fast. Next up, we have another Longshot fight. This is Longshot versus Gorr on node 47. That's the shared mini on the right side in section 2. So very similar to the Hulkling fight. I am basically just going to race up to my SB2 and burn him down super fast. So he does have protection knockdown. I'm going to land a heavy before I throw my SB2. I do not have Pure of Heart right here, but I am able to Dex back and get the SB2 off. I'm just going to hit into him. He's going to burn down. If he does throw an SP1, which he does right there, he gets even more buffs and burns down even faster. So he's going to get protection here again in a second. I'm just going to heavy, throw another SP2. Nice and easy, nice and safe. My last fight this war is Titania versus Wong on node 55. I make quite a few mistakes in this fight. Becomes a little bit of a nail biter at the end. And the first mistake is right here at the start. I typically like to start my Titania fights with a heavy to trigger her Haymaker. But I am using an indestructible boost because the plan is to bait his SP1s, and if he gets to 2 bars of power, try to push him to an SP3 and tank it with my indestructible boost. But because I use a heavy at the start, eat some hits, and then next time I trigger Haymaker, I'm going to eat another one, I lose my indestructible boost. And the way that I figure this out is I'd eat a combo in a little bit, and that combo gives, is dealing damage to me, and I'm like, oh no, I lost my indestructible. So I have to kind of pivot. This node has Limber, and I am stunning him way more often than I meant to throughout the beginning of this fight. The good news is that I can still get to my heavy using my Haymaker, and the reason why that matters is because of his mystical charges. He's up at 80 right now. When he gets to 90 mystical charges, I need to knock him down to the heavy. So that's what I was trying to do right there, and that's when I eat the combo. But then he gets to 100 mystical charges, and I hit him with a light attack. So his mystical charges explode, dealing a bunch of damage to me. So now I throw my SP3. This is kind of my damage phase, right? I need to throw another heavy right here to refresh those. But because he's got a bunch of power and I don't have indestructible, I'm going to just back off and bait an SP1. Now, because I don't get my big damage phase in, I'm definitely behind on the health race here. He ended up having an SP2 there, which I just took into block. But, I'm going to get some degen damage if I can't hit him super often. But I've got my Haymaker ready right here. So I'm going to throw it, get a knockdown, try to get some more damage in. It's back to a bar power. Just going to keep baiting his SP1s. Watching his mystical charges again. I'm at a quarter health, and I'm a little bit behind, so a little worried. Like I said, the most important thing here is to keep him under 2 bars of power and to watch those mystical charges. And then, following that, making sure I can hit him often and keep the degen off me. So after that SP3, I get some more damage in, but not able to do, the big bursty damage that I need to. So this is, just kind of continuing on. We're at 2.5 minutes. That's a very long fight, especially for Titania. He throws his heavy, gets some power gain. I am ticking down. I need to just hit into him so I can trigger my Unstoppable again. I throw my SP2 here hoping that I'm going to do good damage, and it doesn't. Even with the power back boost, I just don't get a ton back. I have to take that SP2 into block, and now I'm at 3%. I'm able to get an intercept there, bait off SP1, punish, get some more damage in, hoping I can kill here, but I don't. But I am back to my Haymaker if I need it. So I throw my Heavy, get some little bit of damage in, bait the SP1, and finish the fight. I think Titania is a good counter for Wong. That is not a good representation of that or my ability. That was very poorly done, but we get through it. So still deathless, 31-0 on the season. However, we do drop this war to Salty. Thanks for watching, guys.